Hey guys, Franchise here from Franchise80s.com, and today I'm doing a video on my top 10 favorite books for collectors, and I'm going to run through this video pretty quick. Later on in the weeks and months to come, I'm going to have full reviews of some of these great books, but for right now, let's get started, and let's start with number 10. Totally awesome, the greatest cartoons of the 80s. This is a great book to have, especially if you grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s. It has a lot of awesome pictures and information, and stroll down memory lane for sure for anyone who was into the cartoons of the 1980s. It's a really great book. Let's see, number 9 now is the Ultimate Retro Collection. This is more of a magazine than a book, but as you can see from the cover, it covers all the best stuff that the 80s had to offer, from the toys to the movies to some of the music. It's just amazing, an amazing magazine, and really the Ultimate Retro Collection, movies that defined a generation. There's some really great articles on that, and a lot of information on the toys and the toy lines, and it's really a magazine that I recommend. The Knight Rider Companion. If you like me and you love Kit and Knight Rider and David Hasselhoff, this book is definitely for you. This is a really thick book with a lot of information in it. It truly is the companion for the Knight Rider series, and you'll love this book if you get a chance to pick it up. Star Wars 1000 Collectibles, Memorabilia and Stories from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. There's a lot of Star Wars books out there, a lot of Star Wars collectors books and Star Wars books and informational books, but this is one of the best ones. This is one of the better ones. It has a lot of great pictures and information on some of the more obscure toys, not just the action figure lines, but some of the more obscure toys from Japan and all over the world. And it's a really big, thick, beautiful looking book with a lot of full color pages. I highly recommend this, and it's fairly inexpensive too. I believe you can pick it up on eBay for under $25. The next one is the 2005 Price Guide, Star Wars Action Figure Price Guide. This book is a little bit more obscure. I think it was published in England, and it's hard to find here in the United States. It goes for about $70 to $80, but it is amazing. It has so much information, so many pictures, full pictures of not only the action figures, but actually the cards, the on-card action figures, and the cards that front and back that the action figures came on, and the packaging and everything. It's just so much information in this book. It's definitely a must-have for anybody who collects the Kenner Star Wars toy line, or any other the Hasbro. It really has a lot of information on a lot of the toy lines, all the way up to 2005. The Ultimate Guide to Vintage Star Wars Action Figures, 1977 to 1985. This is a book by Mark Bellomo. Mark Bellomo is well known for doing really great books. This book is amazing book. It doesn't have as much information as the last book, but it does have the information. It does have is very vibrant pages with a lot of tidbits and a lot of great pictures of the action figures themselves. And if you don't have the action figures, the next best thing is to have this book, because it's you get to see all the details that all these action figures. Has every action figure from 1977 to 85, so it's a great book. The next one is The Ultimate Guide to G.I. Joe, 1982 to 1994. This is a holy grail for G.I. Joe collectors. it's a pretty expensive book. This book will run you close to $190, but it has again every single figure that came up all the way to 1994, and all the vehicles, and a lot of great information and prices on them, even though the prices now might be a little outdated. But it's a great book for collectors to have, to be able to go down memory lane. Action Figures of the 1980s, another great book by Schaefer Book Collectors. Schaefer Books for Collectors, that is. This has a lot of the more popular toy lines from the 1980s. Full color pages again on this book. I usually tend to like the books that have full color pages. Next is He-Man and She-Ra, a complete guide to the classic animated adventures. This is the best He-Man book I've ever seen. The best, definitely the holy grail of all He-Man books, and it's made by Dark Horse. And there's quite a few He-Man books out there, and they're all really good, but this one is the best one. And it has a lot of information on the very successful cartoon, and a lot of artist rendering and behind the scenes type of information that you would not know or not usually get from a regular book. So you open the pages of this book, and even if you're not a He-Man fan, I think that you have to be thoroughly entertained when you go through the pages of this book. Next is my favorite book, the Totally Tubular 80's Toys, another book by Mark Bellomo. And this book is very nostalgic. Again, a very big and beautiful book with a lot of great color pages. And again, if you don't have the toys, the next best thing would be to have this book, because it chronicles all the toys, and it's just it's eye candy for sure to 80s toy collectors. Honorable mentions here: the Picker's Pocket Guide to Star Wars Toys is a great book that can fit in the back of your pocket, that you can take with you to estate sales or garage sales when you're searching for collector gold, Star Wars gold. This is a great reference book to have. Collecting Gadgets and Games from the 1950s to 1990s. This is really cool because it has toys from the very beginning, and gadgets from the very beginning, from when they just first started making these things available to consumers. And it's a wonderful book to take a stroll down memory lane. Tomart's Price Guide to Horror Movie Collectibles. If you're into the scary, the horror, you're going to want this book, because this is a detailed book on everything horror, and it's made by Tomart's, and it's also a price guide. A lot like Schaefer Books, Tomart's is well known for making price guides in the collector universe. And the book has a lot of great color pages, along with also having some black and white pages. I really wish that it was all in color like some of the other books, but Tomart's has a tendency of putting, I would say, 70% black and white pages, and then the rest color. They'll sprinkle some color in throughout their books. But nonetheless, their books are still very informative, and still pretty cool to see some of these pictures, even though they're in black and white. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and I thank you for your time, and look forward to doing some more videos of full book reviews, and thank you for your time.